No. Yeah, I'm ready now. No, I'm not. Hold on, wait for this play to end. From the fields back to the Flatirons, the Collegians are back in Colorado and back here in Boulder as they get ready for their final homestand of the season. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Scott Carpenter Park. Ethan Jordan and Jake Shapiro alongside you for this game between the Boulder Collegians and the Sterling Xpress. We joined you just a little late. We had some sound card issues. We got it all figured out, so you'll be able to hear as well as see the rest of this game. We're in the bottom of the first inning, 1-0 Boulder, 2 away, and 2 runners on for Chris Amador, who takes ball 1. Here's how we got to this point. Isaac Park, starting on the hill for the Collegians, gave up 1 infield single but had no other problems in the first inning. Then Kix Farrell reached on an error, stole second base, reached third on another error, and then was driven in on a base hit from Connor Kostecka. Kostecka was picked off of first base, then Turner Davis reached on a walk, and just moments ago, Kelby Richardson reached on a single. It's 1-1 on Chris Amador, the center fielder. Amador has taken over primary center field duties these past few weeks. The same here tonight. Rest of the lineup for the Collegians looks like this: Jimmy Hollinger, Nick Hall, and Johnny Douse. One is a breaking ball that misses outside to Amador. Man on the hill is the lefty Jason Richardson. Things have cooled off a little bit here in Boulder today after a hot one. Some clouds have provided some relief from that heat.
A scorcher.
Jake Shapiro yelling at me that it was a scorcher today. He's right. The dog days of summer to be sure. It's still 90 degrees, but it doesn't feel that hot anymore. Amador swings and misses at the 2-1, and it's even at 2-2.
Yeah, your chocolate bar actually just melted on my hands, so I gotta wash that off.
It's a protein bar.
It's chocolate. It's all chocolate.
Like the bottom is covered in chocolate, yes.
Convince yourself that it's healthy. I dare you.
I have the Boulder native yelling at me, or the kid from Boulder yelling at me about health, of course. 1-2 pitch to Amador. Swing and a miss, and Chris goes down on strikes to end the inning. But the Collegians strike for 1. They lead it by that many as we head to the second here in Boulder.
Super Hot Super 5 merchandise sale, premium adult shirts and name brand sports apparel, $5 each. Everything else we got.
Top of the second inning here in Boulder, Colorado. Collegians up 1-0. Thanks to an RBI single from Connor Kostecka in the bottom half of the first. Isaac Parks goes back to work on the mound and misses with ball 1 to Jamie Ponce. Ponce, the 5-hole hitter. He'll be followed by Graham Cohill and Connor Bird. 1-0 from the big righty, misses low and outside for ball 2. Parks, a native of Boulder, Colorado, playing for the hometown Collegians this summer.
Oh, hey, what's your zip code?
He was one of the guys that went out to Kansas this past week as the 2-0 misses high. According to Isaac, he and Jackson Hewlett went antiquing while in Kansas. Jackson bought a vinyl record. Isaac didn't buy anything. But they said they went to a nice mom-and-pop shop.
I bought a vinyl this weekend, too.
What'd you buy?
Ryan Adams self-titled at Everything Music on Burnside in Portland.
That's right. You were in Portland this week for the Rapids game. How was that?
It was awesome. They actually host those games, the Portland Timbers games, at Providence Park, which is where the Portland Mavericks and for a long time the Portland Beavers and even the Portland Rockies play. So a very historic park in both soccer and baseball.
Full count here to Jamie Ponce. Parks comes set out of the stretch, brings it home. Breaking ball is fouled back to the screen. So we have some information to pass along to you. The RMBL has scheduled their first playoff game for tomorrow. So the Collegians will be playing in a playoff game tomorrow evening. Strike 3 called. He got him with the slider, brought back the same pitch, this time in the zone. Ponce couldn't offer at it, and he's gone on strikes. But the Collegians will be at All-Star Park down in Lakewood tomorrow. If you're familiar with the area, that's the one that looks like a mini Coors Field. They'll be playing the Denver Cougars in the first round of the RMBL playoffs. That's a double elimination tournament, so they'll definitely have another game other than that, no matter how it goes. First pitch here to Cohill from Parks, another breaking ball. This one in the zone as well, and it's 0-1.
And this is not a league game, so the Collegian seeding has already been decided for that tournament.
Yeah, the whole turning is set. The 0-1 lined into left field, and it's over the head of Hunter Hudson. He started in, had to retreat back, couldn't get back in time. Cohill's going to motor into second base and think about 3, but after a wide turn, he'll hold up at second.
And that's that tough play in left field I always talk about this time of night with the sun pointing down in your eyes. It's already a tough play because it's an atom ball. You never have the read as an outfielder of where you should go forward or back. That's the first step back right there, and that's why it cost him. But couple that, he's not able to make up for it because he's not able to see the ball.
Doesn't help that he's not a natural outfielder either. Hudson largely a catcher and first baseman, but getting the start in left field here tonight. But as we were mentioning, the seedings are all set. Connor Bird, the batter, against Parks with a runner at second. Parks going back to the slider again, finds the zone.
We've got 2 Ethan Jordan fans so far in the YouTube live comments section. We've got Andrew Van Horn saying, Ashley told me that you could rap. And then Abby Van Horn also telling you, hi, Ethan.
Oh, they're from the same family, my girlfriend's family. That's not shocking.
Congrats on the girlfriend.
It can happen to anyone.
Apparently.
But as we were mentioning, the standings are all set. While the Collegians were away in Kansas, there were still plenty of RMBL games going on back here. The 0-2 pitch is outside. The Foxes have retaken first place from the Sox quite handily as well, 1.5 games up on them now. So they'll be the 1 seed, which does that mean they get a bye in the first round, Jake? Because there's 7 teams?
Yeah, there's at least 1 bye. I think there might be a couple byes throughout the tournament because if you have a 6-team tournament, you need byes. There could be 3 byes in the first round, actually, if you think about it.
Perhaps. You've got the Sox in second place. They're followed by the Saints. Then the Collegians are in 4th. Cougars in 5th, so it doesn't seem as though it's only a 4-team first round. It looks like it's a 6-team first round because that would make the Collegians play the Cougars as Bird goes down on strikes. Parks makes him look silly for the second out.
If you haven't figured it out, we have about as much information as you do.
Yeah, that's right. We know the Collegians are playing the Cougars, which based on the seeding would make it seem that the first round is 6 teams. We found out today that this playoff game was tomorrow, so draw your own conclusions from that.
So did the players, by the way. It's not like we're that far out of the loop. And meanwhile, the Collegians actually have a home game tomorrow as well. You'll find out more about that as it develops because there is some complications with that one so far. But there will be baseball played here.
The playoff game is
there will be people in Collegians uniforms
playing baseball. We may be among them. Stay tuned for that. 1-0 is swung on and missed. The playoff game is at 4 o'clock in Lakewood. And the home game, which was scheduled earlier in the season, and then the RMBL decided to schedule a playoff game for this Wednesday, so there are some complications there. The playoff game is at 4. The game here is at 6. Line drive to right. Richardson there for it. Makes the grab going into the shadows and ends the inning. But there will be playoff baseball tomorrow and baseball here at Scott Carpenter Park. That's what you need to take away from this. And we may be playing in one of those games. So take that as you will. We'll take a break. Oh,
You might be Jordan one of those games.
yes. We will take a break. 1-0 Boulder. Bottom of the second on the way.
So this is how we end up. Shades of blue and gray. I feel just like an empty bottle. My dreams are on delay.
Welcome back to Boulder. 1-0 Collegians as we head to the bottom of the second. No, that is not Batman down the first baseline. That's Jackson Hewlett, Collegians pitcher, in a Batman costume coaching first base. Summer League baseball. You gotta love it. Jimmy Hollinger leads off the inning for Boulder. A huge swing and a miss from Jimmy, looking for home run number 2 with that cut, but he's down 0-1. Jason Richardson back to work on the mound. We saw Jackson in the dugout earlier with just the cape on, but he's gone the full Batman attire now. There's another strike. Silly of me, though, I gave away his secret identity. Oh, well, I think he'll be okay. Jackson was on that trip in Kansas, and the guys with all of the sickness going around, a bunch of guys have been sick these past few weeks, had limited numbers out in the plains, and so Jackson played some left field, got a few more at-bats in. If you remember, earlier in the season, he got one at-bat after he threw that great game against Fort Collins, struck out on 5 pitches, but you know what? He battled. So he got a few more cuts. I will say, he hit batting practice today, and he hit a missile out to left field, an absolute bomb. So the 0-2 to Hollinger is flown to center. Coming in, shading the sun, is Jesse Watson as he makes the grab for the first out. The Dark Knight, you get another shot over there. Not staying in the shadows. Up comes Nick Hall now. Hall, the first baseman tonight. One away in the inning. Boulder up 1-0. Connor Kostecka had a RBI single in the first inning. Richardson's first pitch, a breaking ball that drops in nicely to Hall. Strike one. So we talked about it before the break, but just to reiterate, the Collegians will have a playoff game tomorrow at All-Star Park at 4 o'clock. This one's outside. 1-1 on Hall. They'll be playing the Denver Cougars. Team the Collegians have had good success here at Scott Carpenter Park against. You remember the walk-off home run from Turner Davis earlier in the season. That was against the Cougars. The 1-0 to Hall, and Nick watches one dive out of the zone for ball 2. But they have not had the same success against the Cougars on the road, though it'll be your neutral site tomorrow. It's big swing and a miss there from Hall, and he has gone down 0-2-2.
Do you have to turn down the field, Mike, because of my conversation with your parents?
No.
No.
We were just
Good.
have you seen Jackson Hewlett down at on the first base line? 2-2 is low to Hall.
He's the Batman.
He is. I made the mistake of giving away his secret identity on air, so.
Well, maybe he has a British accent secretly as well.
The 3-2 swing and a miss. Hall down on strikes. Hall records the third strikeout for Jason Richardson tonight. The 9-hole man Johnny Douse to the plate. You missed it. You weren't here quite yet. Jackson Hewlett hit a bomb during batting practice. I mean, a tank out to left field. You can actually kind of hit.
Really?
Yeah, it was smashed. He may be a player who plays tomorrow at the game here at Scott Carpenter Park. He played some left field in Kansas, as we mentioned earlier. The 0-1 is outside. Ball 1. Dow's trying to get something started with 2 away. Collegians with the 1-0 lead, bottom of the second. And the 1-1. Ground ball to short. Preciado throws out the runner Douse to end the inning. So after 2, it's 1-0 Boulder. Third inning's on the way here from Scott Carpenter Park. Stick around. Collegians with the lead. Welcome back to Boulder. 1-0 Collegians. Ball hit to first base. Played off the chest of Nick Hall. He'll try and recover. Flip to Parks. Goes by the glove. Threw it behind him. Luckily, Johnny Douse there to back it up. And aboard at first base on the first pitch is Sam Bunting. Richie Preciado will be the batter now. The shortstop in for his second time around here in the third inning. Collegians up 1-0. But a runner aboard here to start the inning for the Sterling Express. Ethan Jordan alongside you on this fine Tuesday evening here in Boulder. Marks' first pitch to Preciado just nicks the zone for strike one. Game flying along so far. We started a little bit late, but moving along at a nice pace. This one's inside, 1-1. Parks has gone to that slider a lot here tonight so far. Move to first. Bunting back in time. Swing and a miss. Parks snuck a fastball by Preciado there. That's 1-2. Davis, the third baseman, in on the cut of the grass. Though this but unlikely with 2 strikes. The 1-2 misses outside. Count runs even to 2. Parks has had a base runner on in each of his 2 innings. Neither of them have gone all that far, though. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Pulled the string on him, and down goes Preciado for the first out.
Now batting, number 28.
The center fielder, Jesse Watson, will try his hand again. He is one of those 2 base runners we mentioned. Had an infield knock in the first. A nubber that spun off the left side of the mound, and no chance for anybody to make a play. First pitch to Watson is grounded foul. Nice play by Danny David Linehan. The bare hand throws it right back to Parks. And the ump's going to check out the baseball, make sure nothing happened between it going into the Collegians dugout and coming back out to Isaac Parks. He's satisfied with it. And Parks makes a move towards first, Bunting back on the dive. Swing and a miss. Watson was way ahead of a slider there, and it's 0-2. O2 offering from Parks. High chopper to short. Kostecka will grab it. Throw over to first is in time. Bunting's taking off for third. They've got him in trouble. The throw goes over the head of Davis. Ricochets off the fence in front of the dugout. And Bunting's safe at third. So a couple of errant throws in the inning from the Collegians have allowed this man to get to third. But Parks does have 2 away. So we'll try and work out of the inning with no damage. First pitch to Trevor Holvas is in for a strike. Holves over 1 so far. Lined out to Kelby Richardson in right field. 0-1, breaking ball. Shot that way again. Richardson coming in, makes the grab, and ends the inning. So despite a pair of errors, Isaac Parks works a clean frame in the third. Collegians still lead it 1-0. Bottom half on the way here from Boulder. On to the third inning here from Scott Carpenter Park in Boulder. Collegians leading the Sterling Xpress 1-0. Pitching change here for Sterling as Gunnar Togen will come on to do the pitching. The righty replaces the lefty Jason Richardson. So Richardson only goes 2. Could be a bit of a bullpen type of game for Sterling. Top of the order in this third inning as Kix Farrell takes strike 1. Looked to bunt, but pulled it back. The third baseman, Ponce, going to be paying close attention to that. He's in even with the bag now. Not bunting here. The 0-1 is low. Ball 1. Farrell was the man who scored in the first inning for the Collegians. Reached on an error and stole second. The throw went into center field, so he went to third and scored on the Connor Costeca base hit. 0-1 pitch. Ground ball to second base. Holves to his right, flips it over to the first baseman for the first out.
Now batting number 5, playing left field.
So with one away, Hunter Hudson stands in for his second time. We'll switch over to the left side of things against the righty Togen. Hudson struck out in the first. Hudson was one of the guys who went out to Kansas this last week. Trying to get aboard here with one away in the third. And Togen's first pitch is a breaking ball that just brushes the outside corner. It was a bit higher than I think than Togen wanted to leave it, but Hudson let it go for strike 1. 0-1. Hudson ground ball to first base. Tough play over there, but the flip to the pitcher is in time, and there are 2 away.
Now batting the shortstop, number 2, Connor Costeca.
Connor Costeca, the man with the lone RBI thus far for the Collegians. In the bottom of the third inning. Lefty will get a chance to face the right-hander now. Things getting a little easier, at least matchup-wise, for him. Costeca had that RBI single in the first and was picked off at first base. Togen's first pitch to him. High chopper to first. Daniels fields it there. Goes laterally to the first base bag and ends the inning. So the Collegians once again unable to score, but they retain the lead 1-0. Fourth inning of play up next here from Boulder. The sun beginning to set below the Flatirons here in Boulder. Collegians lead it 1-0 over the Sterling Xpress, top of the 4th inning. And Isaac Parks back to work on the mound. Isaac's first pitch of the inning misses low and inside for ball 1. Inning starts with the first baseman and 4-hole hitter, Jack Daniels. 1-0 to Daniels. Ground ball into right field. That'll be a base knock. Daniels is aboard. Leadoff man reaches here for the second time for these Xpress. Yeah, the leadoff man on in the last inning. Weren't able to bring him around. Stranded him at third base. There's been a base runner in each inning against Parks, but he's held the Xpress scoreless. First pitch to Jamie Ponce is a ball. That's 1-0. Next offering is fouled to the screen. Next offering, breaking ball, fouled away. And the return throw to the pitcher goes into center field, so Chris Amador will have to do some housekeeping out there. In fact, it's Jimmy Hollinger who goes out and gets it for Parks. So we're back ready to go now. 1-2 on Ponce. Runner at first. Nobody away in the top of the 4th inning. This one's fouled away. And I think we have about as good of confirmation as we can get. The Collegians will be playing a playoff game at All-Star Park tomorrow at 4 o'clock. The majority of the players are going to be there, all the pitchers that are needed and all the offensive players, for the most part. But the Collegians also had a scheduled home game against these Xpress tomorrow at 6. So all the pitchers that won't be needed tomorrow and some other players will be here playing that home game, and we can confirm that joining them in playing that game will be myself and Jake Shapiro. So we will be playing in a game for the Boulder Collegians tomorrow here at Scott Carpenter Park. You're not going to want to miss this. The 0-1 pitch right back to the mound off the side of Isaac Parks. He can't find the baseball. Davis going to pick it up and throw to first. Oh, what a play from Turner Davis. So go 1-5-3 on that one. Fine effort from the big man. Parks appears to be okay. That one caught him pretty square. So that'll be the first out of the inning. Graham Cohill to the plate now. Nice play from Davis. We haven't seen him play much third base for the Collegians this year. Been a first baseman in DH primarily, has played catcher at times as well. But he did tell us at the beginning of the year he could play third. Finally seeing him there tonight. And he's made his name known as the breaking ball misses outside to Graham Cohill. There's a strike from Parks. So he's got the count evened up. Trying to hold this runner at second and hold the lead. As Jake mentioned earlier, this is not a league game, so not affecting the Collegian standings at all as the playoff bracket is already set. Fly ball into right center. Richardson racing over makes the grab for the second out. Daniels will hold at second base. So Richardson getting plenty of action out there. And a few hit his way so far. And Connor Bird comes to the plate with 2 away and a runner at second base.
Keep going. I'll do that all day.
fouled back to the screen. Oh, 0-1 on Bird. Runner at second, 2 down. That's done, still blazing into left field. Ground ball is foul. So Hudson's really having trouble with it out there, shading his eyes at every opportunity. Huh. Next offering from Parks. Called strike 3. And another fine inning on the mound for Isaac Parks. So he strands another batter and holds the lead at 1. Collegians lead it by that margin as we head to the bottom of the 4th here in Boulder. One 1-0 our score here in Boulder, Colorado. Bottom of the 4th inning. Collegians in the lead over the Sterling Express. Turner Davis to the plate, and a big swing and a miss from the cleanup man at the first pitch he sees. Gunnar Togen going back to work on the mound here in his 2nd inning of work. Got the Collegians 1-2-3 in the 3rd. And add on to that the fact that he got the top of the order 1-2-3. 0-1 pitch to Davis, just missing the bottom of the zone. And it's even at 1. Davis walked in the 1st, but was stranded at second base. One on the way from Togen. And Davis pops it up. Mile-high pop-up back behind home plate. And the catcher can't find it. It bounces right behind the plate. And it's a foul ball. Unable to locate it was Robles. And now his throw going back to the mound goes into center field. A few issues behind the plate there, but it gives Davis new life here. 1-2 on the big third baseman. Those can be really tough when they go right up the chute like that. As you saw, that one landed at about the point of home plate. When they go right up like that, it can be really tough to locate for a catcher. That's why you'll see the coach hitting I.O. always try and give him that catcher pop-up at the end. Of course, that's the toughest thing to do as a coach. 1-2. Nearly comes in and gets Turner Davis, but he leans out of the way, and it's 2-2. We had that coach's challenge before the All-Star game a couple weeks ago here at Scott Carpenter Park. And if you remember correctly, most of the coaches had trouble hitting the catcher pop-up, the ever-dreaded catcher pop. And time asked for at the plate by Davis, so he'll step out with a 2-2 count. Nobody away here in the fourth. Comes the offering from Togan. And Davis takes it up high, filling the count. Coach King of the Fort Collins Foxes, if I remember correctly, won that coach's challenge during the All-Star game. Full count on Davis. Togan into the motion, brings it home. Ground ball to the left side, backhand and under the glove of Preciado. It's a base knock, and Davis has reached twice here already. That was going to be an awfully tough play for Preciado anyway. Not certain he could have thrown Davis out had he gotten to the ball. Point is moot, though, as he did not, and Davis is aboard. Brings in Kelby Richardson. Kelby had a single back in the first. The Bat Boy motors back to the dugout after collecting Davis's gear. Togan's first offering to Richardson is right back up the middle. And the Collegians have a pair of hits to begin the inning. Davis and Richardson both reach again. They both did that in the first inning. And bring up Chris Amador. Amador a strikeout in the first. Has a prime opportunity to increase this Collegians lead.
Chris missed the trip to Kansas, but was not wanting to be there. He wanted to be there. He actually has been home sick with the flu for about a week, so it's good to see him back in full health out on the field.
A number of Collegians have been fighting that flu bug. That's why they were so short-handed out in Kansas and why Jackson Hewlett played left field. First pitch to Amador. Lays down a bunt. Pretty good one right in front of the mound, but it's a foul ball. Had that one stayed fair, would have been about what they wanted. As Amador's one of those guys, you say, well, try and drag bunt for the hit. If you don't, oh well, we got the sack down, but he's certainly a guy fast enough to beat out the bunt for a single. So it's 0-1 on him here. We'll see if he squares again. Ponce, the third baseman, wise to it now, is in on the cut. Davis at second, Richardson at first. No one away in the Collegians fourth. They lead it 1-0. Amador squaring early here, looking to give himself up. But before he can, a turn to second by Togan. Davis back with the dive.
And you saw that pickoff move right there. Major League Baseball is actually on the road to getting rid of pickoff moves like that. Recently, you saw the headlines about stealing first in the Atlantic League, which is where Major League Baseball is testing a lot of their new rules. Went unnoticed, but one of those rule changes also was to pickoffs and saying that pitchers had to step off the rubber before they picked off. And that pickoff move right there is exactly what they're talking about.
Does that include a lefty picking off to first?
Yes.
Okay. No, I saw a number of those changes. The stealing first one, of course. There's another big one. It's slipping my mind right now.
Robot umpires.
That's right. Robo-umps. I'll tell you what, if there's a guy who would get ejected by a robo-ump, which has already happened, but if a guy in the major leagues, I can think of one who would get ejected by a robo-ump, and that's Joey Votto. Because Joey Votto, I promise you, thinks he knows the strike zone better than a robot, and he probably does. 0-2 pitch to Amador, and Chris lets it go. You saw in that marathon game for the Rockies the other night in which they didn't get started till 9:20 because of the rain delay, then played till about 1:15 in the morning. The Reds were up, I think, 6 runs or something, and Votto got himself thrown out arguing a ball that was about, half an inch or so outside. But he was right. It wasn't a strike. It was a ball. No one knows the strike zone better than Joey Votto. As there's another pickoff attempt to second. This one a bit closer, but Davis back in time. A man, an absolute machine, Joey Votto. Fun trivia fact about Joey, he has never won a Silver Slugger. He's won an MVP. He's won a Hank Aaron Award, but never been crowned as the best hitter at his position for a single season.
Almost a guaranteed Hall of Famer, maybe the best Canadian baseball player of all time, and so under-recognized.
This one is high, 2-2. There's names out there. Larry Walker, of course, from Canada. I think he would be one to contend with Votto. They both have an MVP. And both should be Hall of Famers. We'll see if Walker can get in this next year. It's his final year of eligibility for the Hall. 2-2 to Amador. Chris grounds one towards the left side. Ponce coming up with it will go to second for one, but that's all they'll get. Amador runs well and would have beaten out the return throw. Davis moves up to third on the play, so runners at the corners with one away for Jimmy Hollinger.
Or Jimmy Holliner is thought out by our PA guy tonight, which I think he's 6 or 7 years old.
No fault of his own there. Sometimes these coaches, their handwriting, not the best. And no knocks there as, well, if you've seen my scorebook, I'm the same way. So here is Hollinger. Jimmy flew out to center in the second inning, leading off that second frame. Has a chance to drive in the Collegians' second run here. First pitch to Hollinger is low. This one gets by the catcher, bounced over his head, and it'll be a run for Boulder.
He still doesn't know where it
haven't
is.
located it, and down to third base goes Chris Amador. Robles had that one skip in front of him. It went a mile high over his head. I think that one came off the plate, may have caught his shin guard or something. I mean, it almost made it over the backstop here. He had no idea where it was. In fact, it was the pitcher, Togan, who had to go get it.
Could say the ball was camouflaged into the backstop.
Yeah, these Rough Riders wearing those camouflage unis with the very dark gray away pants, similar to those of the Arizona Diamondbacks, though they don't have that, I don't know what you call it, that coloring on the bottom of the ankle. Hollinger has a chance to drive in a run still as Amador's up to third, and it's 1-1 as he fouls it off the catcher's mask. Hollinger at second base tonight. We've seen him play all over the infield. In fact, I think second is the position we've seen him play the least, as he has a pretty solid glove out there, so they like to utilize him on the left side. One from Togan. Hollinger lines one to center. Watson there for it. Here comes Chris Amador to the plate. The throw from Watson is cut off, or attempted to be cut off, but goes under the glove of the first baseman Daniels, and the run is in to score. The Collegians take a 3-0 lead. So it's the sacrifice fly for Jimmy Hollinger. And with the bases empty, Nick Hall will stand in.
So the age of our PA guy tonight is 10. His friend is 10. And his other friend is 7. They're all up here. Combined age 27. So combined age of our three helpers tonight is almost as old as me. And now I feel really old.
You know what makes me feel old?
What?
And this happened to you a long time ago, but it has just happened to me where guys getting drafted are now younger than me.
Yeah.
1-0 is a high pop-up, but it'll get foul. Like DeAndre Ayton of the Suns is a day younger than me. And that makes me feel really old, and I don't know.
Bro, Cal McCarr for me. He's younger than you, too, Cal McCarr.
How old is Cal McCarr?
Look that up. I think he's 2000s.
I think you're right. I think I remember hearing about that.
98. He's 98, so he's my brother's age. But there's guys that are younger than that. I mean, I cover a 16-year-old on the Rapids.
Ground ball towards the middle of the infield, and this one will wind up in center field. No chance of that one for the second baseman Holves, as he would have had to have made a absolutely spectacular play, nigh on impossible. As he was diving full extension and still couldn't get there.
In fact, my latest story for the Denver Post is on the 16-year-old who plays for the Rapids.
Is that one posted yet?
It doesn't look like it, but it's about to be. I'm watching it get published right now.
Rapids fans, keep a lookout for that. Shake Shapiro doing
All of you.
work. Yeah.
There are dozens of us. Dozens!
You just had one of your rapid stories in the Post itself, right?
Yeah, this one will be in Thursday, so it'll be in the online tonight, in the paper Thursday. But yeah, I get most of them in. They also get trimmed down a lot from the online version into the paper.
First pitch to Johnny Dowse is low. Pickoff attempted first. The back pick from Robles doesn't pay off. Hall is back standing.
It's cool, man. I ran into the airport on my way back from Portland to go grab the Denver Post, which had my print edition paper in it, and I got so many strange looks because I'm a 24-year-old running through the airport with a newspaper, and I really didn't have a good explanation as to why. I really love journalism.
Support your local paper.
Particularly the one I work for.
Right.
Please.
1-1 on Dowse. Hall thought about stealing second, but he'll have to head back after the foul ball. 3-0 Boulder, bottom of the fourth. Legions have extended that lead from 1 to 3 here in this half inning. Dowse looking to help them add on more. 2 away and that runner at first base. 1-1 to the Collegian backstop is low. In the dirt, in fact. Robles able to collect it. It's 2 balls and a strike. Good count to run on here for Nick Hall, should he choose to take off again. Hogan stepped off for a moment to look Hall back. He knows it's a good running count as well. He'll give a glance over there before coming set. And the righty deals out of the stretch and misses high. Ball 3. Three and 1 now to Johnny Dowse. Dowse just a month or so away from beginning college. Graduated from Brophy Prep down in Arizona this spring and will be heading to the University of San Diego. And Joust takes ball 4. Johnny draws the walk, moves Hall up to second base with 2 away. Chance for Kix Farrell to drive in a run. Farrell's hit a couple of ground balls thus far. One he reached on an error in the first. He would later come around to score and grounded to second in the third. Farrell in a role we have not seen him in this year, the DH. Typical middle infielder. First pitch to him is in for a strike. Right on the black on the outside corner. One ground ball to third, right at Ponce. He'll jog to his own bag, tag it there, and end the inning. But the Collegians strike for a pair. They now lead it 3-0. Fifth inning is on the way here from Boulder. Stick around. We'll be right back. Isaac Parks goes back to work on the mound for the Collegians here in the top of the 5th inning. Boulder up 3-0 after adding on 2 in the last half frame. Parks has been brilliant thus far. His first pitch misses outside to the Sterling Express catcher Mark Robles. Robles lined out to right his first time around in the second. Second chance at Parks here.
We've been doing Rockies updates all summer, and right now the Rockies are down 2-0 against San Francisco. They're currently on a 4-16 game skid over their last 20, and within the last 24 hours they've lost by 17, had a rain delay, lost by 1, and found out their top prospect was injured for the rest of the season while losing. So Brandon Rogers gone for the year. That's found out earlier today. And Sangwon Oh, one of the key relievers, also done for some time with another surgery. So things going well down the road at Coors Field.
And there's a strike. And things are going well for one of the teams there. That's the Giants. They've been on a massive hot streak starting just before the All-Star break and into tonight. They've been climbing the standings rapidly. They were the worst team in the National League West to begin the season, but they're climbing, and they're just behind the Rockies now.
Well, they still are the worst team in the National League West, but a win tonight would actually tie the Rockies in the standings with the Giants going into that final game of the series. Collegians president Matt Jensen will be happy about that. Huge Giants fan.
This is ball 4 to Mark Robles. And he draws a walk.
Jensen, Giants up 2-0 right now. If they win tonight, they're tied with the Rockies.
Yeah, the Rockies have scuffled a bit of late, to be sure. Going into the break, they were swept by Arizona, then had a somewhat tough series against the Reds, who are also trying to keep their wild card hopes alive. They won last night, I think, did those Cincinnati Reds. And now the Rockies, at best, can tie the series with the Giants, though they are losing in Game 3 right now. Sam Bunting, the DH, in at the plate, reached on an error in the 3rd inning. He'll take strike 1 here. Good pitch from Parks. And this the throw back to the mound goes into center field, but no damage done. Kostecka out there to collect it quickly. And so Robles will hang on at first base. Parks has seen some traffic here thus far. He's had a man on in each of his 4 innings thus far, though he's stranded all 4 of them. 0-1 to Bunting, and Sam just reaching for that one, fouls it away. Parks has been in and out of the rotation for the Collegians. We've seen him start, but we've also, of late at least, seen him out of the bullpen. Getting the nod to start this one here tonight. He's been excellent. 0-2, ground ball to short. Would be a tough turn. Kostecka to Hollinger for 1, on to first. It's a double play. Fine turn at second base from Jimmy Hollinger. They had to hurry as that one wasn't hit all that quickly. Got a nice flip from Kostecka, and the Collegians have 2 away here in the 5th.
You said it earlier today, Hollinger, not normally the Collegians second baseman, playing out of position a bit tonight, and a great turn at second, a textbook double play.
So that'll erase the runner and bring up the top of the order in Richie Preciado. Preciado, a strikeout victim twice so far. Looking to avoid the collar here and take strike 1 on a breaking ball. Who started the game tonight for the Giants, Jake? Was it Drew Pomerantz?
No, it was Peter Lampert for the Rockies. I got to check on the other side.
This one is outside, 1-1 to Preciado. I think it was Pomerantz, who, of course, the former Rocky, got signed by the Giants in the offseason.
Yeah, it's Drew Pomerantz.
That's a guy the Rockies certainly want to beat. Gonna have to get going on the bats as the 1-1 is in for a strike. That's been the struggle for the Rockies since the break, it seems, other than that one game against Cincinnati. They have not hit the ball particularly well. They were unable to do so against Samardzija and Rodriguez yesterday as this one's inside. 2 guys with ERAs up around the 5 region. Parks is offering to Preciado. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. So it's the hat trick for Richie Preciado and Isaac Parks. Another brilliant inning on the mound. He's through 5 scoreless. Collegians back on the bats. When we come back, 3-0 Boulder.
Can't put the headphones on
What do you mean? Sound off of this now. He fixes sound. So we're not running out of this, I don't think. It's probably better not. Three 3-0 Boulder. They're at the bat now at the bottom of the fifth inning. Bottom of the fifth inning is brought to you by Sanitas Brewing Company's Everyday Mountain Lager. You can pick one up at a liquor store near you. Local Boulder Brewery, Sanitas Brewing. Hunter Hudson, the two-hole hitter, will lead off the fifth for the Collegians. It's a 3-0 lead for them over the Sterling Xpress here in this non-league game. In some ways, the final home game of the season. The Collegians will play playoff baseball tomorrow up in Lakewood, or down in Lakewood, I suppose, against the Denver Cougars. The game starts at 4 at All-Star Park. Double elimination tournament here in the RMBL. Of course, the winner goes on to play in the National Baseball Congress World Series out in Wichita, Kansas. The 1-0 to Hudson is in the dirt, 2-0. Some tough teams in the RMBL this year, those Colorado Sox and the Fort Collins Foxes. Though, in their last meeting with both of those teams, the Collegians won. Brilliant start from Jackson Hewlett against the Foxes allowed them to finally knock off Fort Collins. As Hudson flies one high in the air out to left field, Bird in his tracks, reaches up and makes the grab.
Now batting number 2.
So here comes Connor Kosteka. He's singled and grounded out thus far. Kosteka standing in the back of that left-hand batter's box here. The lights flicking on here in Boulder as the sun continues to set. My old college product, Connor Kosteka in for his first pitch, and Montgomery delivers, and this one right back up the middle. And it's a base knock for Kosteka, his second of the evening. Kosteka has gotten hot of late for the Collegians. Started off his Collegians career a bit slow, but since then he's been one of the better hitters on the team. Speaking of one of the better hitters on the team, here's Turner Davis, the cleanup man. He's been aboard twice, walk in a single for him. Seems it's been a while since we've seen Turner leave the yard. But continuing to hit for average here in the latter part of the season. He's going to be a key piece for the Collegians in these playoffs. With guys being ill, some guys headed home already. Davis watches one in for strike one. The lineup is a bit thinned out, so they're going to really rely on Turner Davis there in the middle of the order. Another guy that is going to really have to step up for the Collegians, has done so tonight, is the man on deck, Kelby Richardson. 0-1. Line drive to short, reaching up is Preciado. He makes the grab, throw to first, not in time to get Costeca as he's back in time. So Davis with the slough liner to short. That will bring up Kelby Richardson. Kelby, another one of those guys like Costeca who got off to a slow start this season, but since that point has played very well. Solid defender out in right field and has found his bat again. You hear the buzz of those lights. First pitch, Montgomery to Richardson, is a breaking ball that misses up around the eyes for ball one. Richardson lines one hard to left. Back on and making a fantastic catch is Connor Bird as he loses the hat in the process, but that will end the inning. Fine play by the left fielder, but the Collegians lead it 3-0. On to the sixth inning we go. Boulder with the lead. When did it become 8-0? 3-0 Collegians and a pitching change for Boulder. They take on the Sterling Xpress here on this Tuesday evening. Logan Cowart's on to do the pitching now, and first batter he sees Jesse Watson fouls it back to the screen. So we have everybody's favorite thing in baseball, position players pitching, as Cowart gets a chance on the mound. He's typically a second baseman, shortstop. But being that this is not a league game and the Collegians prepping for playoff action tomorrow, he gets a chance to do the pitching here. 1-1 on Watson. That was a pretty good breaking ball from Cowart. Got to imagine he was one of those guys who pitched in high school. 1-1, missed high with it. Rockies, who don't do this very often, had a position player pitch the other night against, or the other day, I suppose, or that other day being yesterday, against the Giants. Mark Reynolds did the pitching. Second pitching performance of Mark's career. He pitched one time, I believe, for Washington last year. He had an all right inning. Gave up a couple runs, but those were mostly on ground ball hits. Compared to the rest of the Rockies pitching yesterday, it wasn't so bad. The 3-1 ground ball, nice play by Kostecka. Throw to first is in time to get him. Fine grab out there from Connor Kostecka on the slide, gets up and throws him out.
What a play.
So to the middle of the order now, and Trevor Holves.
Now batting, number 3, Trevor Hovey.
Holmes is 0 for 2 today. Both of those against Isaac Parks. By the way, with Coward in now in the 6th, Parks goes 5 innings, gives up no runs on 3 hits. Pair of errors behind him as well, so good job mitigating damage for Parks. And another nice outing for the Boulder native. And this one in for a strike from Coward. Strike zone has been slightly generous, but Legion's taking advantage of that. Next offering, this one a bit too tight, and it's 1-1. Make that 2-1. Next pitch, grounded short. Kostecka, a little bit more routine of a play this time as he throws him out for the second out here
Now
in the 6th.
number 20 and playing first base, Jack Daniels.
Win stands Jack Daniels. Wonder if he's a native of Tennessee. He's 1 for 2 today. First pitch to him. Cowart finds the outside corner for strike 1. Good location on the mound from Logan. You know, he's got the sports glasses on out there, and with the way he's wearing his pants, he looks just like Jackson Hewlett. A little bit shorter and less facial hair, but other than that, he's got the look down pretty good. 0-2. Swing and a miss, and a nice inning on the mound from Logan Cowart. He gets him 1-2-3, and the Collegians still lead it by 3. Bottom of the 6th inning coming up next here on the Collegians Broadcast Network. To the bottom of the 6th, we go here from Boulder, Colorado. Chris Amador standing in with a 3-0 lead for the Collegians over the Sterling Express. Ethan Jordan and Jake Shapiro alongside you on this Tuesday evening. Next offering to Amador. This one popped to left. Bird coming in makes the grab. That's the first out. There's Jimmy Hollinger. Hollinger had a sacrifice fly back in the 4th inning. Netted the Collegians their second run of the ball game. First pitch to Hollinger from Montgomery, drifts outside for ball 1. Does appear to be a bullpen sort of game for the Xpress, as they've had each of their guys go 2 innings thus far. We'll see if Montgomery is done after the 6th inning or sticks around for a 3rd inning of work, though I doubt it, seeing as the Xpress bullpen is already at work. It's 2-0 on Hollinger here. Ground ball to short. Nice pickup on the backhand from Preciado, and he throws out Jimmy Hollinger. That is not an easy play to make, charging in on it. Took a funny hop on him. He had to pick it with the backhand on the run. But Preciado throws out Hollinger for the second out.
Number 12, Nick Hall.
As we mentioned, we'll have a playoff game tomorrow against the Denver Cougars. They've been successful against Denver here at Scott Carpenter Park, though I believe they're 0-2 against the Cougars on the road this year. Double check on that. Batter here is Nick Hall, who takes strike 1. Next offering is called a strike as well, so it's 0-2. And I believe I can confirm that they're 0-2 on the road against the Cougars. They play those games up at Mountain View High School. The 0-2 is low. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Nick Hall. Montgomery looking for the 1-2-3 inning. 1-2 is high. And the count even on Nick Hall. Pretty quick ball game thus far here in Boulder, as we're just now nearing the 2-hour mark here in the 6th inning. 2-2 offering. Hall reaching for it, pokes it down the right field line. This one drifting towards the line and will drift foul into the Xpress bullpen. So 2-2 on Nick Hall with 2 away. No one aboard here in the 6th inning. Collegians with a 3-0 lead. Uh, 2-2 to Hall. And that one ran in and got him right on the arm. And, well, he says no, rather it didn't. It hit the knob of the bat. But the umpire said it hit him, so Hall's down to first base. Not very often you see a guy turn to the umpire and say, oh, no, actually, that was foul. But Nick doing the honorable thing, I suppose, as he's down to first base. Anyway, the umpire says, that one got you. He said, no, it did have a sound like it hit the bat. But they said it hit him, and the Collegians have a 2-out base runner. Coach Tyler Blood was out of that first base dugout looking for an explanation. The first-year coach for these Xpress. He has many ties to Sterling, as he was on their inaugural team in 2015. In fact, he as the first hit ever for the Sterling Express. Johnny Dowse, the batter. Pick-off move to first. Back with a dive is Hall. Big swing and a miss at Dowse on an inside fastball. It's 0-1. One tied him in knots. The 2-1, that one came in and got the helmet of Johnny Dowse. He says he's all right and jogs down to first base, but a scary moment there is sometimes you see it come off the back of the helmet or something like that. That one was in the face region there. That was about off where the bill meets the rest of the helmet. But Johnny Dowse is okay, and he's down to first base, the second hit batsman in a row by Montgomery. They just have a chance to strike for a run here with 2 away in the 6th. Look back to second from Montgomery. Nothing going on there as there is no pickoff play. Hall didn't appear to be going anywhere. One misses low to kicks Farrell. Oh, ball 1 on the DH. Should mention a 9-inning affair here this evening. We just have the single game. Sterling will be back here tomorrow to play the second game against the Collegians at Scott Carpenter Park. Of course, that one going on about the same time as the playoff game, so a bit of a split squad action. And I think we have confirmation. We're playing in that game tomorrow, right, Jake?
Yeah, we're playing in that game. John Youngblood's throwing in the game that counts. Up here, I think Caleb Martinez is going to pitch for us, and then Jack Carlo.
Broken bat as Ponce avoids the missing pieces there and throws out kicks Farrell. The lumber scattering to the left of the pitching mound, so the bat boy will go out there and clean it up. But the inning is over. 3-0 Boulder. We'll move to the 7th. Collegians with the lead. We'll be right back on the Collegians Broadcast Network. Fly ball to right field. Kelby Richardson makes the grab, and that's the first out of the 7th inning. Underway with the third and final third of this ball game here in Boulder. Logan Cowart going back to work on the mound as Ponce flies out. Update from Denver. The Rockies have finally struck against the Giants. Garrett Hampson scoring. It's a 2-1. Another update. Nolan Arenado plunked in the hand. Seems to, by all accounts, in a great deal of pain, but he's stayed in the ball game for now. So something to keep an eye on. Rockies star third baseman. Really not the guy, especially at this point in the season, the Rockies want to see go down. This one flown back our way and out of play for the first strike against Graham Cohill. It's 1-1. 1-1 pitch, fouled wide of first. Cowart in the motion. Here's his 1-2. It's outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Beautiful sunset tonight in Boulder, Colorado, and what is the last competitive home game for the Collegians of the year.
Swing and a miss. Cowart struck him out as Cohill goes down after swinging and missing at a high fastball.
Makes you think of all the great history that has taken place at this park with the Boulder Collegians. Of course, this second iteration, just part of that. And what a wonderful summer it has been so far, and an opportunity to keep it going on for the Collegians, and that starts tomorrow. But we'll be here.
We will be here playing in the other
and broadcasting
game
probably
from the field while playing. Maybe.
We'll have something.
Something will be going on tomorrow, though we do know we will be playing in a baseball game here at Scott Carpenter Park tomorrow evening. That's not something you want to miss, so come on out to the ballpark for the final home game of the season, 6 o'clock tomorrow night, and watch me and Jake play baseball, or try to.
Attempt to play baseball, yes. It will be able to say on my Twitter bio, former college baseball player after tomorrow.
And there's ball 4 to Connor Bird. Left fielder draws the walk with 2 away. Collegians, the actual Collegians with all the great players. And we're going to have a conference on the mound as here comes Batman out of the third base dugout.
No. Jack, turn me up on 2.
So the Dark Knight having a conversation with Logan Cowart. You got to wonder what they're discussing out there. I wonder who that is under the cape and cowl. Hard to tell. Well, we'll see if whatever he said to Logan Cowart works here.
Said don't kill anybody, whatever good you do for the city of Gotham. It's immoral.
Right. Jackson Hewlett, the hero we deserve, not the hero we need.
See if the pitcher can put a Harvey Dent into the rest of this inning.
Strike 1 called there.
Yeah, right now.
1-1. Fouled away.
It's the top 7.
So 1-2 here to Mark Robles. Swing and a miss, and whatever Batman said, it worked as Logan Cowart strikes out Robles to end the top of the 7th inning. On to the bottom half of that 7th inning. Stretch time here in Boulder. 3-0, Collegians with the lead. Hunter Hudson, the batter, to lead off this bottom of the 7th inning. And since it's the bottom of the 7th, it's time for our trivia question. You can tweet us at Boulder Collegians. Trivia question. Today was the 50th anniversary of the launch to the moon. That moon landing anniversary coming up on the 19th. Of course, when Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin became the first two men to walk on the surface of our moon. The trivia question for you today is there is one particularly famous astronaut, part of the Mercury and Gemini program, who hails from Boulder, Colorado. Can you name him? The astronaut from Boulder. That's your trivia question here on the anniversary of the launch to the moon for Apollo 11. New pitcher on for the Xpress. We don't have their roster anymore. It went missing. So, based on the fact that he's number 22, I'm going to assume he's Jim Palmer.
I think I know the answer. It's a pretty easy answer. I'm assuming it's the park in Boulder with a rocket ship in it that's named after him.
A very familiar park to those Collegians fans.
Yes.
Ground ball towards the right side. That one will get through for a base knock.
Boulder Creek Path Park.
You got it.
Oh, wow, no way.
Boulder Creek Path is my favorite astronaut.
Now batting, Connor.
There's actually been a couple of astronauts from Colorado. One of them actually later became a congressman. That one's Jack Swigert. You may recognize that name from the movie Apollo 13. He was played by Kevin Bacon.
We've got Turner Davis's dad asking why did the playoffs start early, to which the response is, we don't know, the team doesn't know, our owner doesn't know. I'm not sure the people in the league office know.
Yeah,
so
great question.
we don't know. Wish we could answer that. Wish we had known about it. Although I guess I wouldn't have been able to play in a baseball game for the first time in 8 years, so I'm kind of happy we didn't know about it in another way.
Yep, there's 2 games going on tomorrow. The playoff game in Lakewood. Most of the Collegians will be there. The rest of them will be here playing with us in the game against the Sterling Xpress. Ground ball past the outstretched reach of Jim Palmer. Nice flip over to second for 1, but the return throw not in time as Kostecka beats it out.
Man, what a flip and what a turn out there at second base. They went glove, toss, to the bare hand catch all the way across to first, and I'm pretty sure the Collegians were speared a double play by the umpire.
It was a close play at first. Obviously, the field umpire was a bit of a distance away as he had to make the call at second base. But he said Kostecka beat it out. A Brandon Phillips-esque flip there. Now Turner Davis, the batter. One called a strike. Shake on the mound from Palmer. He's ready. Here's his 0-1. And misses low for ball 1. I'm not mistaken in saying that Jim Palmer wore 22. For some reason, I have that in my head. Look that up for me. Of course, Palmer, the longtime Orioles right-hander.
Yeah, his Twitter handle's Jim Palmer 22.
That's how you know it's 2019. You know what number a baseball player wore by the number in his Twitter handle.
Yeah. Played, of course, with Brooks Robinson, who was what kept Frank Peters from playing third base for the Baltimore Orioles and kept him in Portland playing for the Portland Beavers and Mavericks, in which stadium I saw this weekend.
I didn't know that.
Former star at Oregon State.
That does make me think. I don't think I know Brooks Robinson's number. For some reason, I know Jim Palmer's number. I don't know why. One's inside.
Well, there's a reason why you don't know Brooks Robinson's number, and that's because it changed 4 times.
Oh, well, that'll do it.
He wore 5 for majority of the career.
Okay. I thought it might be single digit, but I wasn't sure which. Jim Palmer's got to be the greatest 22 ever, right?
I can look that up on Baseball Reference if you give me a second.
Sure. This one's pop foul. 2-2 on Turner Davis. I can't think off the top of my head a lot of other 22s. That gives good odds to Jim.
Oh, there's definitely one that's better.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's one. When did Ricky Henderson wear 22? Was he always 22?
He only wore it for 1 year.
Okay. I was going to say, I
for
don't
the
remember
Oakland
that.
A's.
Okay.
So depends on your definition, but Roger Clemens wore it with both the Yankees and the Astros. So he wore it for 9 years. But Jim Palmer is definitely the guy who wore it longest, 19 years. And Clayton Kershaw right behind him in WAR now,
Right.
just 2 WAR points. So, I mean, Kershaw's going to go down as a better pitcher than Jim Palmer at the end of the day. Palmer, 3-time Cy Young winner. Same for Kershaw.
They'll both be in Cooperstown, no doubt, at the end of their careers. Obviously, Palmer already there. Yeah, Clemens did not always wear 22 either, but he did wear it for a good part of his career with the Yankees.
Yeah, from 99 to the end of his career. So
Yeah, he wore it with the Yankees. Wore 21 with the Red Sox. I forgot he was a Blue Jay in between being
won a
Red
World
Sox.
Series with the Blue Jays.
Yeah, I always forget he was on that team. With Davis retired, here's Kelby Richardson, and Kelby takes strike 1.
Yeah, it's funny. Clemens accrued as much WAR as a Yankee and Astro in about 9 years as he did in some single seasons he had with the Red Sox.
Save for the steroids, he would be joining Kershaw and Palmer in New York as well,
You
but,
can't prove that.
well, that's the reason he's not in the Hall, is what I'm saying. Suspicion
The
of steroids.
perception, yeah.
The suspicion of steroids has kept him, Barry Bonds, and others out of the Hall of Fame. Though they're gaining ground in the Hall of Fame voting. We'll see if they ever actually end up making it in. 0-2 on Richardson. As Palmer delivers, and it's high. Swung on and missed by Kelby. I'm not sure what he was swinging at there. That one was over his head, and he has gone on strikes to end the inning. But the Collegians still with the lead, 3-0. 2 more innings to play here from Boulder. We'll be right back on the Collegians Broadcast Network. Oh, well, our music cut out rather quickly there. I was enjoying those slow jams. Oh, there it is. But it is the top of the 8th inning. Collegians up 3-0 against the Sterling Express, who we should mention. We were talking about Roger Clemens. The Sterling Express have played against the team that Roger Clemens was on. The Kansas Stars back in the, well, what year was that? The 2016 NBC World Series?
2016 NBC World Series. That team was actually coached by former Collegians manager Matt Senna and assistant coached by Mark Goodman, current Collegians coach.
Yeah, I actually talked to Goody about that at the beginning of the year playing against them. Tim Hudson, the former Giant, and Brave started on the mound against the Xpress in that game. It was one of those teams where they get a bunch of old MLB players, bring them together. Adam LaRoche was on that team, Dan Ugla, among others. Roger Clemens was the headliner, though I don't think he pitched against these Xpress. That one misses outside, or rather finds the zone from Logan Cowart. Called a strike on Sam Bunting. So 0-2. One fired in. I remember some of those other former MLB players on that Kansas Stars team. 2-2. Line drive to the left center field gap. Going to be a long runner out there for Hudson. He makes the grab. He's not a left fielder, but he sure looked like one there. A fine play by the catcher Hunter Hudson in left field. That'll be the first out of the inning. Preciado, the leadoff man, in now. I know there was one other big MLB player that was on the team. Another batter. Position player. That's it. I remember now. David Ross was on that team for a time. Apparently, this was not the year that the Xpress played them, but Chipper Jones was apparently on the Stars for a year. They were in the NBC World Series in 2016 and 17, I think. They did not play in 18, if I remember correctly. They had all kinds of MLB talent on that team. According to Goody and everyone else I've talked to played against them, they still got it, at least a little bit, compared to college teams out there at the NBC World Series. Preciado draws a walk. Of course, the winner of this Rocky Mountain Baseball League, which the Sterling Xpress used to be a part of, will go on to that World Series come the end of July. Playoffs for that right to go to Kansas start tomorrow. Legions will be against the Denver Cougars at 4 o'clock at All-Star Park. Throw down to second as Preciado takes off. He's got second base swiped as the throw bounces in from Douse. So prime opportunity here for the Xpress against Logan Cowart in this 8th inning. Runner at second and one away. Nice play from Hunter Hudson in left field. At this point has saved a run. And 1-0. Fastball is in for a strike. Watson's 1 for 3 today. Infield knock for him, as well as a line out and a ground out. Cowart set in the stretch. Checks the runner a couple of times, now brings it home. High fly ball popped up back behind the infield. Kostecka out, Amador in, and it's Connor Kostecka who takes the play there and makes the grab for the second out.
Now batting, Trevor Colby.
What's up?
It's a man versus your moon. It's a good one. And it's funny because it's the
I'll do 2 trivia questions. I'll add one to the one you've already had, Ethan.
All right.
Double dip.
What's your trivia question?
At the start of the 2018 season, Pat Neshek chose jersey number 93 for the Philadelphia Phillies, meaning jersey numbers in Major League Baseball that had never been used diminished from 6 to 4 because Adam Kimber had already chosen one prior that offseason that had never been used.
Richardson grabs the fly ball in foul territory. So
Can you name the 4 jersey numbers that have never been used in Major League Baseball history? Find out after the break.
Give me the break to think about it. We will take a break. 3-0 Boulder on to the bottom of the 8th here in Boulder. 3-0 Boulder, bottom of the 8th here from Scott Carpenter Park, as Chris Amador stands in to lead off the bottom half of the inning. New pitcher on the hill for the Rough Riders. Left-hander now. Got a lefty to start the ball game in Jason Richardson. A couple of right-handers since.
So I'm going to let you guess at my trivia question. Do you have any idea what the 4 numbers are that have never been used in Major League Baseball history? I'll give you a hint. The number I would wear has been used once for 20 games by one reliever.
I was wondering if that was one of them. I know exactly what number it is.
What number is that?
69?
No,
okay.
That'd be funny. That's been used quite a bit. Actually,
figured.
95 would be my number.
Okay.
69's been used by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different players, the last of which, of course, Bronson Arroyo.
Yep. Let's see. So you said 95 was one of them?
95
once.
has been used once. That's the number I would use.
All right.
Because that's my birth year.
Fair enough.
Your birth year is what, 98?
Yeah.
That number has been worn one time by a player who pitched in 3 games.
Interesting. I honestly have no idea, so I'm just going to throw out a couple numbers.
Okay. Lotto number style.
Yeah, exactly. I'm guessing these are all up in the 90s and 70s. Let's go with like 76 or something like that.
Nope. 76 has been worn actually quite a bit.
Oh, wow.
The last was Jonathan Diaz with the Boston Red Sox. Anyone currently? Yeah, Josh Sorbiz with the Dodgers this year has worn it, and Hector Velasquez with the Red Sox this year has worn it.
I didn't realize Velasquez was 76.
No player with that number has ever had a positive WAR, though, which is quite interesting.
Swing and a miss by Amador as he's down on strikes.
So 0 for 1 on your 4 guesses so far, to even get one of the 4.
Let's see. 98 probably would have been one of my guesses, but obviously that's off the table. How about 91? I don't know.
91 is not. 91 has been worn by 5 different players. Carlos Gomez actually wore it with the Mets this year.
Oh, he did? Wow.
Yeah.
Shows how many Mets games I watch.
I mean, very sound Mets career of 99 plate appearances.
Right. Oh, man, I don't even know, man. I don't know. I'm just going to throw a number out here. How about 86? I don't know.
86 is one of them.
Oh,
Never
hey.
been worn in Major League Baseball history.
Swing and a miss by Hollinger there. He's down 1-2. That one got Robles pretty square. He'll go down to a knee. But as he tries to recover here, try and walk it off, I think he got caught in a location that was not ideal. Got one more guess. Oh, I don't know. How about like, I'm guessing there's another 80 in there, maybe 87?
Nope, just missed. 87 has been used. It was used by Jose Delon, who is active, and Dan Otero, both recently. So the numbers that have been used, to spoil it on the broadcast, have been 80.
Oh, wow, that surprises me.
86, 89, and 92. So those 4 numbers have never been used. So mostly 80s numbers.
Which makes some sense.
And 90 by Adam Kimber when he took it before the 2018 season, and 93 by Pat Neshek. Both had never been worn.
See, the 93 doesn't surprise me. That 80 and the 90, even though it was taken already 90, those surprise me. Like those round 10 numbers you think someone would have snagged at some point.
Actually, that's old post. I've got my information wrong. I just checked Baseball Reference, and 80 was worn for the first time this year by Ryan Eads, who made his debut, I believe, like a few weeks ago. Yeah, June 8th. So
All
that's
right.
been worn for the first time by Ryan Eads.
So there's only 3 left now. I was shocked that one of them was 80. Fly ball foul from Hollinger.
It's still shocking that it took till 2019 for someone to wear it.
It's actually almost shocking that there are any numbers that haven't been worn at this point. I mean, it's been 100 years, or under here 200 years nearly now.
Yeah, players didn't get to pick their uniforms, though, till the 70s and 80s, and it
True.
mostly relied on where they were in the batting order. So
True. There are no.
just weird because your batting order changed every day, whereas your position didn't. So you'd think they should have gone by position instead of batting order.
Oh, no 80th guy in the lineup, I suppose. Next offering is high to Jimmy Hollinger. Here's the 3-2. Hollinger fouls it back to the screen. What's that?
A new book imagines Blazers legend Bill Walton as a detective solving a kidnapping between announcing college basketball games. It is
Yes.
both very simple and deeply weird. That's a headline I just read.
That's a purchase that I may be making on Amazon in the next few days. You saw Bill Walton was in Boulder the other day.
I saw him.
Did you?
Yeah, hung out with him.
At the Grateful Dead art thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I caught up with him. He's a friend of mine.
All right.
It's good to see him. He's doing well. He's on the end of like a 2-month tour with the Dead, so he's a little out there right now, even for him.
Out there, Bill Walton are two words that go together very well. Hollinger at first. One away here in the 8th. Collegians up 3-0. They look to win their final, real home game, I suppose, of 2019. 2-0 is outside to Nick Hall. 3 balls and no strikes to first baseman. You've got Tony Gwynn out there on the hill as he misses high, ball 4. Tony Gwynn, of course, a former collegian. Conference at the mound here. Shortstop Preciabo's in to talk to his pitcher. So Dow's back into the box. First pitch to Johnny. Runner takes off. Fly ball out to right field. This one headed towards the gap, and it will fall into that gap, rolling to the wall. Dowse has himself at least a double. It'll score 1. Hollinger's in to score. They'll hold Hall at third. Dowse into second. And the Collegians now with a 4-0 lead. Nice swing on the ball there from the kid, Johnny Dowse. Hicks Farrell, leadoff man with runners at second and third with 1 away.
I don't know. That is.
First pitch to Farrell's high and outside. Rockies are back down by 2 now as it's 3-1. Alex Dickerson driving in a run. 1-0, big swing and a miss from Kicks, and count even at 1. So 2-1 here to Farrell.
Hunter.
2-1 popped up back behind second. Calling for it and not getting there as Watson, as 1 run will come in to score. Douse to third, and now Farrell's hung up, but there's nobody at first base, so he's going to get back easily. And it's an RBI single for Kix Farrell. So Collegians added some insurance here in the 8th. Hudson will get a chance to swing it right-handed again. And 3 at-bats left-handed, and this will be his second on the right side. It's 1 for 4.
I was always amazed by people that could do this. I mean, even competently, not that well, because I can't even swing from one side of the plate, let alone 2. Have you ever tried to throw with your offhand?
I have.
How bad is it?
It's all right.
For me, it looks like a shot put.
See, I was always a little ambidextrous growing up. I used to do things left-handed and right-handed. I would just switch without knowing, and I can actually pinpoint the moment I became totally right-handed. I went to a tennis camp when I was young, and I was swinging it right-handed. Then, like, later on, I'd swing it left-handed, and the coach came up to me and she said, you got to choose one. And so I chose the right hand, and ever since then, I've done everything right-handed. I do bat left-handed, as Farrell is picked off of first base for the second out.
And that's why you should have been left-handed right there.
Yeah, easier to pick off. But no, I hit left-handed. I shoot a basketball left-handed. That's kind of the weird one. I do anything with a stick or left hand, like hockey. I sweep left-handed. That's actually a thing. Play lacrosse left-handed. But I throw in right-handed. And play tennis right-handed.
I do one thing left-handed, and that's type on my phone.
I actually do that with the... no, I don't even know. I think I do that with the right hand.
I switch off.
Hudson takes one outside. You know who's one of my favorite switch hitters in the MLB? Is Pablo Sandoval, because... Is he a switch hitter, or does he just hit left? I can't remember.
Switch hitter.
Yeah, and he's a natural left-hander who taught himself to throw right-handed so he could play catcher. I thought that was fascinating. Now he's a third baseman. Blown foul. This one lined into left field. That'll be a base knock and an RBI for Hunter Hudson. So switch hitters aboard. Who's the greatest switch hitter of all time? There's some debate.
Chipper Jones?
No.
Mickey Mantle?
That's one of them I had in my head. It's between... Isn't Pete Rose a switch hitter too? Wasn't he a switch?
No, I don't think so.
Can't remember. I thought for some reason he might have been. I don't know why I have that in my head. Mickey Mantle definitely, though.
Oh, yeah, he was a switch hitter, Pete Rose. I didn't know that.
So it's between him and Mantle then. Who do you choose between those two guys? That's tough.
You say that, but by WAR, Chipper Jones is actually a better player than Pete Rose.
Okay.
One's in the Hall of Fame, the other's not.
That's a fair point. That's a good point. And one's at the Bellagio signing autographs. blown out of play. So who's fourth after those three? Because those are a pretty good top three. Must be some setting on Baseball Reference to figure this out.
Just switch hitters. I mean, Eddie Murray would probably
That's a
be
good
up
one.
there.
Long-time Oriole. This one popped over to third base. Ponce makes the grab, collides with his teammate, but ends the inning.
Current Hall of Famer, just recently inducted, Tim Raines would probably be my pick to be number 4.
All right, that's a pretty good pick. 6-0 Collegians. 9th inning coming up. They look to win it 3 outs away when we come back.
We are going to be doing a
High pop-up out behind second base. As the second baseman makes the grab, Jimmy Hollinger retires the first man here in the 9th, and the Collegians are 2 outs away from winning their final real home game of 2019.
Who's the player of the game for tonight, Ethan? Who's the player of the game for tonight, Ethan?
I think I got to go with Isaac Parks. 5 scoreless.
All right, I can do that.
This one
I'll be
flown
back.
out to right center field. This one will drop in. Collecting it there as Amador. A strong throw into second base. Holds the runner Jack Daniels at first. Oh, sorry, that's Ponce. So here's Graham Cohill. Logan Cowart back on here to try and get the final 3. He's already got 1. Here's his pitch. Line drive foul down the left field line. Collegians will be back in action tomorrow. They'll be back in action double time as they'll have a split squad going on. Most of the guys will be down at All-Star Park in that playoff game. The rest of them, as well as myself and Jake Shapiro, will be playing here at Scott Carpenter Park at 6. Here's the 1-1. Foul right back to the screen. One, 2. Just short. Kostecka there. Flip to second for 1. On to first. It's a double play, and the Collegians take the victory here tonight against the Sterling Express, 6-0. A shutout on the hill for Boulder as the bats got going towards the end. And a solid victory here in their final home game, or essentially so, of 2019. It's their first home shutout this year. Their second shutout of the season. They had one earlier in the year, or they had two earlier in the year against the Rough Riders. So this would be their third. And we'll go down on the field in a moment to Jake Shapiro, who will be with Isaac Parks, who threw 5 scoreless. But the Collegians win it in 9 here, 6-0. Johnny Dowse a big RBI. Squad coming through. Kosteka with a single. Just a good offensive effort all around for the Collegians. And when you got pitching like that, how about Logan Coward on the hill as well? The position player coming in, throwing a couple scoreless innings. And turn this up on 2. And let's head down to the field now. My partner Jake Shapiro is with the Boulder native Isaac Parks.
Great game tonight, Isaac. Where is he? You were on the mound. What felt like for you?
Everything felt right. I've been hurt. My shoulder's been hurting a little bit. I am just off a broken ankle, and everything started to come together today. So I've been out for 6 days. We were in Kansas, only threw 3 innings over 6 days, and it feels good to be back.
Tough stretch in Kansas, but you guys put it together offensively, defensively, pitching-wise tonight. I believe it was the first shutout of the year. What did you see from your teammates?
I thought we played pretty well. We had a little bit of defensive hiccups, but on offense we really pulled it together, especially in the 9th inning.
Now taking that forward, you guys start in the playoffs here very soon, and you'll be probably pitching a little later this week in the playoffs. Where's this team at?
I think his team's sitting pretty good. We lost a few guys. They headed home, but I think we can really pull it through without him. I think we'll do pretty well in the playoffs.
That's Boulder native Isaac Parks. Back up to my partner, Ethan Jordan.
Thanks, Jake. The Collegians will be back in action tomorrow right here at Scott Carpenter Park, 6 o'clock. They'll also be playing in a playoff game at 4, so a little split squad action going on. So they'll take on the Denver Cougars down in Lakewood at 4, and the rest of the guys will be here at 6 against the Sterling Xpress. Thank you so much for coming out, everybody. Good night. That's Jake Shapiro down on the field with Isaac Parks. And that will just about do it for us here from the booth as well. Say goodbye to everyone in the stands. Pretty good crowd for a Tuesday night. As the Collegians win it 6-0. We'll be back here tomorrow. I think we will have a broadcast of me and Jake playing in a game tomorrow for the Collegians. We hope we do. We might even be calling it from the field as we're playing. Who knows what will happen tomorrow. We hope to see you out of the ballpark 6 o'clock. Maybe go down to that playoff game for a little bit. Come back up for some extra baseball here in Boulder. Collegians win it tonight 6-0. And for everyone here at the Boulder Collegians, my partner Jake Shapiro, our producer engineer Mitch Sanchez does such a wonderful job getting you the angle.
Another one bites the dust.
As you hear Jake Shapiro singing Queen. I don't know if you
That would have been great. Check, check. Yeah. Hello. Does this thing work?
It does.
It's my best Lily.
So the Collegians win it tonight 6-0. We will see you tomorrow. As for Jake Shapiro and Mitch Sanchez, I
really hope my mic wasn't live. For
it was.
For the Another One Bites the Dust?
Oh, it was.
Oh, great.
And you bet I kept it live for the whole thing.
Thanks, Ethan.
You're welcome. So, well, I don't know if I say you're welcome to the folks at home for that.
Don't know he'll do play-by-play in color tomorrow, but maybe it'll be us. Maybe we'll be playing center field. Who knows? But put me in, Coach.
Put me in, Coach. I'm ready to play today. Or tomorrow, I suppose, as we will be back here tomorrow playing in a game. But until then, for Mitch Sanchez and Jake Shapiro, I'm Ethan Jordan saying so long from Boulder, where the Collegians win it 6-0. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Good night.